Hi guys, it's Isabella. We came down to Asheville this weekend to attend AVL Fest, which is a 4-day-long festival. There's venues all over the city here and over 200 musicians that are local and from out of town performing. It's been an awesome time, and we had the privilege to talk to a ton of amazing musicians, and we're excited to show you what we've done. Today I'm going to be chatting with
Pink Beds.
We are random animals.
Pull apart all the pieces of fit, put it back together. Call it art.
This is River Whyless.
So my first question for you guys is, I feel like so many genres, when presented for bands on the internet, it's never exactly what the band actually thinks that their genre is. Like when you Google it. So I was wondering what you guys would consider your genre of music to be.
That's a really good question. I appreciate that. I'm not sure that I have a polished answer. I think we always sort of default to we're like a folk rock band. You know, we're a 4-piece with bass, drums, electric acoustic guitar. We have a violin. That's the basic setup. We're sort of in a folk tradition in some ways, but we like to incorporate some world influences, some rock and roll. Yeah, so it's folk rock. That's the best way to describe it.
We usually just tell people we're like cerebral indie pop, but we do draw a lot of influence from a bunch of different styles of music, like R&B, hip hop. Like the 2000s New York indie scene is a big influence for us, especially on this newest record.
Landing on a genre, I think, is the most difficult thing for any band, but we call ourselves indie soul. I think a lot of our music kind of has like an indie rock vibe to it, but we touch into kind of R&B soul-like stuff. Some of it gets funky, jazzy.
To kind of add on to that, what specific artists would you guys say that you've taken musical inspiration from?
When you're a writer, it's hard not to be influenced by the things you listen to, like in high school, those formative years when you fell in love. For me, when I fell in love with music, we're gonna see the Strokes next week at Red Rocks. I could actively try for them not to influence my music, and I'd fail because I just listen to it so much.
They're like a group that you guys collectively love.
Oh gosh,
that you feel like, or like, I love what they're doing, I want to do the same thing.
I think Parcels are probably. Now I got the mic. This is the first time I've had a mic. I've been in this band for like 3 years. I'm the drummer. It's the first time I got the mic.
Congratulations,
So,
you've made
I
it.
thank you
That's it.
for
End goal, right?
finally allowing me to do this and have a mic. But I'd say Parcels is probably collectively the band that we're all very into.
Parcels, their work ethic. Those boys put in work.
Yeah.
That's admirable, and I hope we someday put in some work.
I mean, it seems to change every record, every year.
Yeah.
You know, it started with the people we all listened to growing up, really, and then the people we were into in college, which in high school and whatnot, which ranged from punk to folk to Dave Matthews Band in that world.
Yeah.
And then it kind of morphed itself into the early aughts, and it's always changed. I think genres and stuff, we've always, like Alex said, been connected to kind of the folk tradition, but then world music started to creep in there, and I think that was kind of where we defined ourselves more.
Bands that we draw inspiration from, that's a hard one for us because we all sort of disagree on what we like.
Okay.
So he puts the 4 of us, and somehow River Whyless
But that's
is
what
made.
makes it unique.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely like indie rock stuff. I don't know, like Dr. Dog, Spoon, like stuff in that vein, but also I'm a big fan of like Stevie Wonder and Curtis Mayfield, and then even jazz fusion. I listen to a lot of jazz too, so Snarky Puppy, stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, so my next question is, since being from the area, can you speak on why music, culture, and representation is so important in this area and location specifically?
I think anywhere you're standing, if you were to ask that question, I would say music's important.
Yeah.
Right? Or that's a language we can speak without speaking the same language.
Right.
And I would say, here in the mountains, there's a lot of buried heritage, there's a lot of Appalachian tradition, and there are things like that really come out in a lot of the local bands. And the bands take it and add their own spin. Maybe they're rock, they're world, they're punk, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's always that little tinge of what the mountains made.
Right.
That it's in this local area, and I think it's cool to be a part of that community.
Absolutely.
I mean, this region historically has been the birth of a lot of American musical genres. Like, we were just at Citizen Vinyl, which is newspaper facility / radio station from the early 1900s that sat dormant for a long time and just got renovated into a vinyl pressing plant in the past 2 years or so. And just like learning about the culture there, like that was some of the first times the U.S. people had ever heard bluegrass. Now more in the modern day in Asheville, it's a safe haven in the South, I feel like, for a lot of things that aren't regionally appreciated, and a lot of people flock here, and that leads to a lot of creatives and musicians living here.
So why do you guys think it was important for AVL Fest to start?
I mean, it's just always nice to see an effort like this. I think, it's the first year, so it's sort of to be determined how successful it is, but I think it's a really admirable thing to try.
For
to
sure.
Reach out to all these local bands. Just the music scene in Asheville is thriving, and COVID obviously had a big impact on everybody, and Asheville is not excluded from that. So it felt like for a long time the music scene was sort of very quiet and unknown, and people were struggling to just get out there. And this has been a really good way to sort of reconnect, reconvene, and
Absolutely.
just invite everybody basically into the event. So it's been really fun to be a part of that and see everybody come out, and it's just been fun for us. Like, our friends are here, people we haven't seen since COVID, we get to see play and talk to. So it's just a privilege.
I think there had been kind of a calling for it for a long time. There used to be a festival here called Bell Share that was really popular. It was like a free downtown festival.
Yeah.
So many people relocate to the Asheville area, sometimes from bigger cities like New York or Austin or Nashville. Just it's a very kind of intimate and great music scene. So, why not have something that kind of highlights that? There's like 200 something bands are on there. Like 80% of them are all Asheville based.
Right.
So I think Asheville for a long time has been calling. We got the venues, we got the bands, just calling for a cool festival. And so I hope they keep doing it.
Yeah.
Keep building it up.
One thing that's been missing for a long time since Asheville is like a really like large scale music festival, especially when you're trying to showcase styles of music that are kind of like sewed here, but aren't always like highlighted to the same degree as like your typical stuff that you might see here. Like a lot of the bluegrass folk scene is like really pertinent to this Appalachian region, but there's a lot of other like really cool styles that also are born from here that deserve to have a similar degree of a platform.
So what's one song of yours that you think everyone should add to their summer playlist?
I would say our song called Kalangala. It's off of our record We All the Light.
Second? Okay.
It's got a little bit of like a bright, worldly influence. It's I don't know, it's just a kind of a fun, bright song.
I can get on board with Kalangala. That's
Awesome.
that's like a chill groove. If you're wanting to have maybe a raging summer, feeling of freedom.
Yeah.
That's what I would say too.
Feeling
Will we be
it's-
hearing these tonight?
Yes.
Awesome.
Well,
Just feeling of freedom.
feeling of freedom.
Okay.
It's a good quick one. Just
Awesome.
2.5 minutes.
yeah, which is how your summer will seem if you are
That's very
raging
true.
through it.
Awesome.
One we most recently dropped, Skyscraper. We feel we're really proud of it, and we got some new stuff coming out soon too.
Tunnel Vision for sure is like a really big staple of our live performance. It's one that a lot of people resonate with as well.
I think "Cause It's You" is one of the songs that we put out as a single. I think that's
Which you guys did a very good job with live last night. by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that one's like a cool summer vibe. It's just a very, very chill, like in context to a lot of our other songs. I think it's like our most chill song.
That's all the questions I have.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
of
And
course.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, easy.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. That's Pink Beds.
Thank you so much for your
guys.
time.